Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasul Anbiya al Mursaleen. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Fa'fu anna. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Allahumma la taj'alna ma'al fitnatil qawmiz zalimin. May Allah accept our efforts and may Allah accept our sitting and listening and try to, may Allah lift our iman and lift our knowledge, inshallah. This session is about the Prophet ﷺ's Hajj in historical aspect. We barely going to discuss about the fiqh issue or masail issue in this session. We're going to discuss how Rasulullah ﷺ has performed his last Hajj and when the what are the major journey that Rasulullah ﷺ has gone through during the entire Hajj. This session, what we're going to discuss in this session, we're going to discuss something about blessing of Hujjaj Karam. Eventually, you're going to be finishing your Hajj, and this is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're going to discuss some of the major events that happened before Prophet ﷺ Hajj, and then we're going to discuss in detail how Rasulullah ﷺ has performed his Hajj, from how he started, where he went, what are the places that the historical, the people who has written the history, they have wrote the places, what are the major event has been took place during the journey of Hajj. And then we will discuss something that the things that you need to do prior to the Hajj, the things that you should avoid during the Hajj, and some of the tips for Hujjaj Karam that is again based on the experience and based on the practical experience that I gained. And at the end of the day, the session, we will take some question and answers regarding just probably some minor questions. If you have anybody, if he's traveling from Riyadh, what Hajj he gonna perform? I mean, I'll give you basic from my experience. Let's discuss. I mean, there is one or two slides probably you'll get in Urdu. To be honest, I didn't get time to translate in English as well, but you can see the translation. As mentioned in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Ali Imran, chapter 2, verse 96 and 97, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about Makkah Mukarramah, and in this verse of Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about that Makkah is a blessing. And Makkah has a sign open sign for the people who want to see the sign. It has Muqam Ibrahim, and this is a place of peace. So anybody in that place, he will be in peace. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in this verse that if the people who has all kind of money, who has health, who has everything that is required to perform Hajj, if he should perform the Hajj, and the one who deny, then Allah doesn't need anything, because Allah is eventually Ghani. So this shows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what Allah wants from the people, from the Muslims, that the people who are eligible for, entitled for Hajj, they have enough money, they are independent, they don't have any disease, nor they have any sickness or illness. They should perform the Hajj as quickly as possible. And those who deny this, that Allah doesn't need it. There's another verse in Quran which mentioned in Surah Hajj, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in verse 27, and Allah said that announce to the people about the Hajj, and the people gonna come from all the places, from far places, by feet as well as over the camels. There is one hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Tirmidhi, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned it is a wa'id or a warning upon those that the people who have everything that can take them to perform the Hajj, if they don't perform the Hajj and they die, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I don't care whether they die as a Jew or a Christian. So imagine that since you already paid, most of the people already paid for the Hajj, and you already ready for the Hajj, Imagine that what kind of warning, alhamdulillah, Allah has saved you. So this is a blessing upon Hujjaj Karam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you already paid the money. Allah has chosen you. You out of 1.5 to 2.5 billion Muslims, you are few of them that are going to go to perform the Hajj. And alhamdulillah, there is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in which he mentioned that if there is a Hajj Mabrur, means that if his Hajj is accepted, then there is no other return other than the Jannah. So imagine that if our Hajj will be accepted, may Allah accept all our Hajj. May Allah accept our all ibadah we perform during or prior to the Hajj, that there is nothing return other than the Jannah. So once you perform the Hajj and the Hajj has been accepted, inshallah will be accepted, then there is nothing other than the Jannah. So this is a blessing of Hajj. Again, there is something that need to be understand. What's the meaning of ihram? People think that wearing these two clothes or unstitched clothes is called ihram. This is ihram. This physical, dress is part of ihram. The meaning of ihram means that there are many things that used to be halal allowed before having an intention to perform Umrah or Hajj. It was allowed, but now after wearing this and having this intention, it is not allowed. So you make some halal things, halal haram upon you. Like, for example, in the normal life, you used to cut your hairs and nail, but in when you wear the ihram and having an intention, then it's not allowed. You are used to allowed, in fact, encourage to put the perfumes or any good smell or utur on your body, but especially for the male, for the men. But in normal condition it is allowed, but in the Hajj condition it is not allowed. Moreover, you are allowed to go to your wife and having a halal relationship, but if you have an intention to perform and you made an intention to perform Hajj and Umrah, then this is not allowed upon you. So basically, the meaning of ihram is that the things that is allowed in the normal life, Allah has bound you not to do. And why it's bound? It is because it's the order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's the way that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has teaching us. One more thing about, there is a small, I generally talk about Ibn Mubarak, Abdullah ibn Mubarak radiyallahu rahmahullah alayhi Hajj, about he is a famous muhaddis, faqih of his time, and Ibn Shayba or Abu Dawud rahmahullah alayhi are those. Imagine that he used to be the teacher of those kind of Yahya bin Ibn Ma'in rahmahullah alayhi. Imagine that he is the teacher of those people. And one time he was ready to perform a Hajj, and this was eventually not his first Hajj. He was traveling and he stayed in a place where he saw a small girl came to a garbage place, and he took a dead chicken, and he took the chicken and went to his home. Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmahullah got curious, and he himself, or he sent some of the people to try to find out what exactly the story. They figured it out that the people were so needy that they don't have any things to eat, and they have no other option other than to eat the dead chicken. Abdullah ibn Mubarak, and this was the general case with the village where their caravan was stayed. So Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmahullah announced to his students and the people, the followers who are coming with him in the Hajj, he said, I'm not going to perform Hajj, I'm going to go back, and this wealth which I supposed to, this money which I supposed to spend during the journey of Hajj, I'm going to give to these people because they are more needy, then I'll perform the Hajj. And he returned back. So imagine that serving a Muslim, Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmahullah alayhi left his Hajj, the journey of Hajj, because he understands that the Muslims need more need this money rather than he will perform this Hajj. One more thing is that Hajj is from tawfiq of Allah, that if Allah has, there are hundreds of people, thousands of people, probably millions in them. They have so much money in their bank accounts. They have enough money, but some of them are sick. They cannot do. Last year, I received a call from England, and the lady called me, I don't know, from some contacts, probably these Hajj groups. They contact me and said, Brother Umair, I need your help. I said, what can I have? What kind of help I can do for you? And she said that I have my sister. Alhamdulillah, she has things, she has enough money, but she cannot perform the Hajj because she is sick and she is too old that she cannot perform. So can you help me that somebody can perform the Hajj on her behalf? Then I try to figure it out, someone at least who is knowledgeable and who can perform and who can take this. I called one guy, and one of the the teacher of my son, who actually teaches, who basically helps my son to complete the hifz of Quran. And I said, Brother Abdullah, do you have any plan to perform Hajj? He said, I don't have that much money that I can perform Hajj. He said, what if you will perform Hajj? He said, how it would be possible? I said, Subhanallah, Allah wants you to come. And then the entire Hajj has been performed by this particular individual who has no plan, no chance, almost like 6-7 days before Hajj, this all happened. And he was in Arafah and he was performing Hajj that year. And imagine Aurangzeb Alamgir Rahmahullah alayhi, he was one of the king, a famous king from India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, all this area. And he used to send a couple of 100 people every year to perform Hajj. But he was unable to perform Hajj. With all of the money, with kingdom, everything, he was one of the pious person that ever Muslims have seen in Indo-Pak. But he was unable to perform Hajj due to his, government, he was busy in his kingdom and other things. So imagine that this is tawfiq min Allah, that you cannot imagine that Allah has given you wealth, but you don't have time, or you don't have money, or you don't have health. If you have, so thanks to Allah upon this, that you, inshallah, you all gonna perform Hajj, and make dua if you get time also. If you get a chance, make dua for me also, that Allah give me a chance also. Now, in the next 30 minutes or 45 minutes, we're going to discuss in detail, not detail, eventually we will take some brief about the journey of Hajj of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I appreciate if the people, anybody who has turned on the video, just please turn it off, because it will help me. It will to lose the concentration. Otherwise, sometimes the concentration will lose. Just a quick question: if you can hear my voice, or any disruption you feel, please let me know on the chat. So we will start our session, which is the major session of Hajj today. Please let me know if the voice is okay, or I'm too fast to having, because again my native language is Urdu, so you may have some disruption or so. Jazakallah khair. So let's talk about the Prophet Hajj, Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam Hajj. As far as the number of Hajj is concerned, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has two. If you look, he has Makki life, where he spent time in Mecca, and there is Madani life when he moved to Medina, and he established the Islamic government and this Riyasa of Islam in Medina Munawwara. Before, in Mecca, about the Prophet's Hajj, there is ikhtilaf among the ulamas. Some of they said Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has performed 2 Hajj. Some they said Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to perform every year Hajj. But there is a difference. But there is no difference of opinion in the Hajj of Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam when he was in Medina. And that's the only Hajj, that's only one Hajj, what we called it Hajjatul Wada. So there is no ikhtilaf among ulamas in the number of Hajj after he migrated to Medina Munawwara, and that was the last Hajj. And Prophet ﷺ performed the Hajj, and the next year he After Hajj, you have Muharram and Safar, and Rabiul Awwal was his last month. And then with the with Allah, what Allah wants, that he basically passed away. So among the ulamas, there is no ikhtilaf, there is no difference about the Hajj in Medina, what he performed in Medina Munawwara. When the Hajj the obligation of Hajj, when Hajj became fard upon, it was on 6th Hijri. And then after 7th, we have Mecca Mukarrama, the Islam and the Muslim conquer Mecca. And then, and 1 year before Prophet ﷺ announced his Hajj, he sent Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu to perform Hajj as an Amir. And Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu took the Ashab Rasul under his leadership to perform Hajj. When he was traveling from Mecca to Medina Munawwara to Mecca Mukarrama, in the middle of the journey, Sayyid Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu. When Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu saw Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu, he asked him one question: are you the new Amir, or you gonna perform the Hajj under me? Ali radiyallahu anhu said, no, I came with some message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I'm gonna give this message during the Hajj. And this was a tradition of, at that time in Arab, that if there is a new, if there is an important message come from some senior leadership or the senior of, some head of the tribe or head of the kingdom or head, as a Muslim, he either himself has to announce it or his close relative will announce this message. And we know that who will be closer than Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu in relationship to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time. So Ali radiyallahu anhu he remained under the supervision of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, but he used to pass the message during the Hajj. And there was a verse of Quran that has been revealed where Allah said that the mushrikeen had given a time to leave from the borders of the Haram. There is a boundary that is defined, and they have to leave within 4 months. Either they have an opportunity to accept Islam if they feel that Islam is a true religion, otherwise they can leave. The second, the naked tawaf or Hajj is not allowed. So Islam, before this, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed this Hajj, this Hajjatul Wada, these two important wahi came, and these two announcements were made at the time of when Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu went to perform Hajj. When month of Zilqada came next year, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced that this year I'm gonna perform the Hajj. As soon as he announced, everybody in Medina Munawwara, all across the Medina Munawwara, close, villages or the places where this news went, everybody start planning to perform the Hajj, because this is gonna be the most blessed days. And imagine, as historically, it will consider that I had performed the Hajj with the first Hajj of Rasulullah with Rasulullah. So the Jamaat of Sahaba radiyallahu anhu start preparing, start themselves to prepare for Hajj. There is a ikhtilaf among ulamas when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left in. I appreciate, brother, if you can close the video, because that interrupt. There is a ikhtilaf among the date of when he left Medina Munawwara. Some ulama say he left on 24th Zilqada. Some they said that he left 25th, or some they said on 26th. The one jama'ah of ulama, they said that some they said that he left on Friday, the other they said on Thursday, Saturday. But the ulama, they are more convinced on Saturday. They said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed Zuhr. So it should not be Friday, because Friday, if it's supposed to be Friday, then Rasulullah is supposed to pray Jummah, not Zuhr. So cut the story short, he traveled from Medina Munawwara on these dates, 24th, 25th, or 26th of Zul Qa'dah, and he reached to Zul Hulayfa. Before he left Medina Munawwara. There is a habit of Rasulullah that he never left Medina Munawwara without an Amir. So he announced he announced Abu Dujana radiyallahu anhu and put Abu Dujana as his successor during his absence in Medina Munawwara, and Abu Dujana was leading as a role of Amir while Rasulullah was not there in Medina Munawwara. And Abu Dujana radiyallahu anhu is one of the companion of Rasulullah that has attended each and every battle with Rasulullah. There is one event also happened that because it was a summer season, there are many people, the Ashab Rasul was planning to move with Rasulullah, but unfortunately there is a disease came in Medina Munawwara, what we called it pox or chicken pox. So the chicken pox is spread, and there are many people got sick, and those people left. Rasulullah left them, and they left in Medina and didn't perform the Hajj with Rasulullah. So Rasulullah left on, as I said, on most probably on Saturday of Zul Qa'dah, and then he reached to Zul Hulayfa. And in one of the hadiths in Bukhari, Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu, the son of Umar radiyallahu anhu, asked him a question. Ya Rasulullah, from where we gonna wear ihram? Rasulullah said, we're gonna wear the ihram in Zul Hulayfa. And if I think most of us has traveled to Medina Munawwara. If you have ever traveled, you will figure it out that the miqat of Medina Munawwara is not far from Medina Munawwara. It's hardly 20-25 kilometers from Haram itself. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached to Medina to Zul Hulayfa, and he stayed in the night in Zul Hulayfa. In the night, there was Ummahatul Mu'mineen, the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu was with Rasulullah sallallahu in this journey. Rasulullah sallallahu met during the night with all his wives, and in the morning he performed ghusl. There is a difference in ulamas that whether he performed two ghusl or he took two baths or one bath. Some of the ulama say that one bath was since he met his wives, and the other one is for the before ihram. In Zul Hulayfa, there is an event happened. The Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu was with his one wife, Asma bint Umair radiyallahu anhu, and she was pregnant, and Allah had given birth to one baby. He went to Rasulullah sallallahu and asked the masala, and he asked Rasulullah sallallahu, what should I do that my wife has delivered a baby? Rasulullah sallallahu, the name was given to him Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr radiyallahu anhu, and he was the youngest. Imagine that he was the youngest among youngest Sahabi. So Rasulullah sallallahu, the name was given upon Rasulullah sallallahu name Muhammad bin Abi Bakr, and Rasulullah sallallahu told Abu Bakr that tell your wife to take a bath and continue his journey, because in this journey you will find out that so many masail related to the woman has been solved when the women used to ask these questions, or eventually this happened because of the nature. And you will see this journey that how the masail related to the women's come, and how this happened, and how the ulama and fuqaha wrote those masail. And one of the things that subhanallah, you will be, when I read those history, sometimes I feel that may Allah bless the qubur of Sahaba radiallahu anhu, or Ummahatul Mu'mineen, or the Ahlul Bayt, they didn't even leave their some private things which supposed to be with them only, but for the sake to help Ummah. In they have given this information, though it was so private for them, but because this is related to help Ummah, they had revealed this. Otherwise, having Rasulullah stayed with our mothers in the night, this is something completely private. But since there is a reason to explain this, ulama has mentioned the reason that this something explained that if this Hajj gonna be a long journey, so if you establish your relationship with your wife, it is better, because then you will have, you may have a long trip to come back, and might be your wife is not traveling with you, so it's better to have it. So to explain the masala, they given everything to us so that we can follow. Anyhow, Rasulullah sallallahu, as I mentioned, he stayed over the night, met all his wives, performed the ghusl. Mother Aisha radiallahu anha, binti Abi Bakr radiallahu anha, he put the oil in his hair of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and put the itar upon his body. So it's a sunnah when you gonna go to Hajj, when you prepare yourself for Hajj, when you take a bath, after bath you can put the itar upon your body, or your perfume on your body, for the male, for the men, not for the women, because it is for the women, it is only perfumes are allowed only when they are with their husbands. So for it is sunnah for them to put the good smell before wearing the ihram. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so Mother Aisha radiallahu anha has put the oil in the hair of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she put the smell on the body of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed 2 rakah in Zul Hulayfa. In the first rakah, he recited Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun. In the second rakah, he recited Qul Huwallahu Ahad. So it's mustahab. The ulama said that it is mustahab if you perform, if you recite Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun in the first rakah and Qul Huwallahu Ahad in the second rakah. After that, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made an intention and he said labbaik. Some of the Sahaba, they said one angel, there is one Sahabi radiallahu anhu narrated that one angel came at the Wadi Aqiq, which is close to Zul Hulayfa, and tell Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Ya Rasulullah, make your intention for Hajj and Umrah. Now here I'm gonna stop you and explain you that Rasulullah, he tell Rasulullah sallallahu to make an intention for Hajj and Umrah both. Now there are 3 kinds of Hajj we have it. One is Hajj Tamattu, the second is Hajj Qiran, the third is Hajj Ifrat. The Hajj in which you make an intention of Hajj and Umrah both, that called Hajj Qiran, which as per the ulamas, Rasulullah sallallahu was a Qarin, that he make an intention for Hajj and Umrah both. The second Hajj was Hajj Tamattu, in which when the person reached to Miqat, the only intention he will make an intention for Umrah. The third intention, the third Hajj is Hajj Ifrat, in which the Haji will make an intention only for Hajj. So though there is a difference of opinion among the big ulamas about the intention of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but as most of the ulama say, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made an intention for Hajj and Umrah, and he was a Qarin. But other Ashab Rasul, in the entire journey, you will find some of them are having a Hajj Tamattu, some of them were Mufrad. So among the Sahabas, within Rasulullah, within at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu, they had performed different Hajj. And there is always a question which Hajj is better for us. And I heard the ulama, they said the Hajj which make our maghfirah, which is accepted by Allah, it is the best Hajj. Because At the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was Qarin, but the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has a different Hajj. The other Ashab Rasul has different Hajj. And nobody can be better than the companion of Hajj, no, better than to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam other than the companions of Prophet alaihi salatu wasallam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made an intention for Hajj and Umrah, and he said labbaik. At that time, there is a prophet, there is an malaik came, an angel came and said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam that, Ya Rasulullah, tell your companions to recite labbaik loudly. And unfortunately, we have seen now this sunnah is getting out from us. When we go to Hajj, when we go to Umrah, we doesn't say labbaik loudly, especially for men, not for the women, but at least men has to say this loudly when they are going for the journey of Hajj. And this has been told by the angel. He came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, tell to the companions to recite, to say labbaik loudly. Now, what happened was when there are three narration about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said labbaik. One narration is that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has performed the two nafila, two rakah for ihram, he said, he made an intention and he said labbaik. There is another narration we said when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sit on his camel, he said labbaik. There is another when he reached to a wadi Aqiq, he said labbaik. Now, if you look, these are three different narrations, but this is the quality and this is the knowledge from the ulamas. When you learn from the ulamas, they try to join those ahadith. And you will figure it out, there is no difference. Because when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in that, when he was sitting and praying, he just performed the salah, the two rakah, there were less people. So the less people hear that, labbaik. When he reached to the camel and he sit on the camel and he said, there are more people, some more has heard about labbaik. When he reached to a wadi, a place which is a bit higher, than many people, many other has they heard about it. So now if you look, there is no difference, because now we combine all these ahadith, and this is what the ulama do. They try to combine those ahadith rather than make it each and every as separate. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the narration, as I said, that first he said labbaik when he was when he prayed. The second as upon when he sit upon his camel kaswa, and the third one is on Wadi Abaida, which was a bit higher place. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the same place, he announced that the animal that the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has, and so as the other people for the slaughtering for Hajj, he announced as per the tradition to put the necklace of shoes upon the animals. This was a tradition of that time, that those animals were used to go for slaughtering for Hajj. They used to put the necklace of shoes so that it will be identified that this animal is for the sacrifice for Hajj. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as per the culture at that time, he put the necklace, he ordered to the companions to put the necklace of shoes upon their animals, on the neck of their animals. He assigned Najla Aslami radiyallahu anhu as a protector of all animals. And then he moved from Zul Hulayfa. The journey of of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the caravan of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, moved from Zul Hulayfa, and then he reached to a point which is almost 2 days of journey, 36 miles from Medina, called Al-Roha. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stay there and pray some rakah over there, and he said this is the place where 17 Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam prayed here. So this place called Ar-Roha, there is a masjid there. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this place where 70 Anbiya has prayed earlier. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached to the third place, which called Ruwaisa, or Asaya, which is almost 14 miles from Roha or 50 miles from Medina Munawwara. And then he moved and reached to the place called Arj. When their Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam qafila reached to Arj, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, on which he lost his camel, on which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam luggage and Abu Bakr Siddiq luggage was there. And Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu was so upset upon his servant that in some of the the narration that he has beaten his servant, because he not only lost Abu Bakr luggage, but most important, he lost Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam luggage, and the camel lost. So the caravan stopped. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at the meantime, there was one Sahabi radiyallahu anhu, Fizala Aslami radiyallahu anhu, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and bring some sweet halawa. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he saw Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu was literally upset upon his servant, and he's not at all happy, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a smile upon his face, and he said, "Oh Abu Bakr, come and eat. This is a blessing of Allah came to us." But Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu was very upset with his servant. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talked to Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu and told him that this is from Allah. You should not be upset. Then at the meantime, Hazrat Sa'ad radiyallahu anhu or Abu Qais radiyallahu anhu came with some luggage, and he said, "Ya Rasulullah, we have enough luggage with us, and you can take it." But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Alhamdulillah, we found our luggage, and we are good to go." One thing you will find, there are two journeys of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that in the seerah, that he didn't take he tried to avoid any ihsan from anybody. One of the journey was when he moved from Mecca to Medina Munawwara. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he planned to move from Mecca Mukarramah to Medina Munawwara, there was some camels that Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu made it ready. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam given him an order to move, they will move. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to Abu Bakr and he said, "Abu Bakr, I will use once I will pay them, or I'm going to give the money and then I will use it." Because these, and also the journey of Hajj also, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tried to use his own money and try to have less dependency on, in fact, no dependency on others. So even the Sahaba radiyallahu anhu came to him to give him their luggage. He said, "No, Allah has, helped me to have, we got our luggage." And you will see in the further journey of Hajj how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taken this journey so important. Anyhow, once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam luggage has been found and they find that camel, he reached to a place called Abwa, and this is the place where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mother's grave is there. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Allah permission to go to his mother's grave. He reached to his mother's grave. He stays some time there, and imagine that almost there was a time when he was only 4 to 5 years or 6 years old, and he was traveling other than with his mother and one Jariya, a servant of Rasulullah's mother, a lady. There's nobody, and all of a sudden Rasulullah's mother passed away, and he was alone, and there was nobody upon this earth at the time. And Allah bring the time back where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached at this place with his companions. He was not only a prophet, he was a leader. He was managing Medina Munawwara, Mecca, entire almost Arab. So he stayed near to the qabr of his mother. At the same place, Mother Safiya radiallahu anha, she is one of the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu. Her camel got sick, and she started crying. Rasulullah sallallahu went to her, and he tried to calm her down, but she was unable to control herself. Rasulullah sallallahu tried, but she was unable to control. So Rasulullah sallallahu got upset with her, and Rasulullah sallallahu walked away. Then Rasulullah sallallahu talked to one of another Ummahatul Mu'mineen, Hazrat Zainab bint Jahash radiyallahu anha, and said to Rasulullah and said to Hazrat Zainab, "O Zainab, why don't you give your one camel, extra camel, to your sister?" And Zainab radiyallahu anhu said something which was completely unacceptable for Rasulullah sallallahu. And Zainab radiyallahu anha said, "I will give my camel to one of a Yahudi woman, yani whose ancestor was Yahudi or Jew, that though because as a Safiya radiallahu anha, her ancestor was from the families of Jew. So she passed that comment, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam after that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't talk to her in the entire journey of Hajj. Not only the entire journey of Hajj, even after Hajj, he didn't talk to her. And Zainab radiyallahu anha thought that probably Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will divorce her, or he will not gonna talk to her ever. But when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Medina Munawwara after performed Hajj, then after some time he went there and talked to Hazrat Zainab bint Jahash. So imagine sometime when we say something, how much it will hurt to the people, that even this statement was, make Rasulullah so upset that he didn't talk to Hazrat Zainab bint Jahash radiyallahu anha for entire journey of Hajj. And he was also, as I mentioned, that he was also, when Hazrat Safiya radiyallahu anha was unable to understand and Rasulullah tried to calm her down, she was also unable to stop crying. Rasulullah walked away. So later Safiya radiyallahu anha realized that she should not have done that much. And then she went to Sayyidina Aisha radiyallahu anha. And she said to Aisha radiyallahu anha, "Oh Aisha, I know Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam got upset with me." Yani Hazrat Safiya radiyallahu, not Zainab bint Jahash. And he said, "Oh Aisha, I want you to take my night in the journey of Hajj, but make sure that Rasulullah should be happy with me. He should not remain upset with me." When the night came, Rasulullah came in his camp and he saw Mother Aisha. And he asked her, "Oh Aisha, this is not your turn today. It's supposed to be Safiya." So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Mother Aisha radiyallahu anha smiles, and she said, "This is a blessing of Allah, whom He blessed." So, and we know the love of Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, that how much he loves Mother Aisha radiyallahu anha. Anyhow, I'm proceeding further. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, finally the caravan moved to a place called Asfan. When this book, from where I refer, I'm going to give you the reference, that the book. At that time, this place called Wadi Fatima. And this Wadi Fatima was upon a name of a Turkish woman, that she was a wealthy woman, and they given this name from Asfan to the new name was Wadi Fatima. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached to this place, he asked Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, "O Abu Bakr Siddiq, do you know what is the name of this place?" He said, "Ya Rasulullah, I don't know the name, and I don't know what is important." He said, this is the place where Hud alayhi salam and Salih alayhi salatu wasalam passed through. So this is the place where when Salih alayhi salatu wasalam and Hud alayhi salatu wasalam was passing by, so they passed through this place. And this is the same place where Suraqa radiyallahu anhu came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, please explain me the Hajj. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained him the entire process of Hajj. I'm not sure how much you know about Suraqa bin Malik radiyallahu anhu, but Suraqa bin Malik radiyallahu anhu was he was one when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left Mecca. He was behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to catch them, to catch Abu Bakr and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and given back to them Quraysh. When he came near to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the miracle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his camel is stuck in the sand. It came out, stuck again. It came out, stuck again. And then he realized that he is nobody other than the Prophet. And he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, I want your aman. So this Suraqa bin Malik radiyallahu anhu came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he asked him, oh, Rasulullah, please tell me how we're going to perform Hajj. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained Hajj. The seventh place Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached after his caravan, moved, he reached to a place which was almost 6 miles from Makkah Mukarramah, and that called Sarf. And this is the place, historically, this place is the place where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made nikah with Sayyidina Maimuna radiyallahu anha. And this is the same place where her qabr is there. So if you are coming from Makkah, Madinah Munawwara towards Makkah Mukarramah, almost 6-7 miles from, I think close to the Tan'een, you will find this place of the qabr of Sayyidina Maimuna radiyallahu anha. At the place of Sarf, there is an event happened. Mother Aisha radiyallahu anha got feminine issue. And she eventually she start crying. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to her, explained him the masala, and imagine that this masala become how to solve this. This masala is become a masala for all women, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam can be an example for the men, but what about the women issues? And we have seen the women issues in Hajj are, especially for those who are going for only 4 or 5 days, are more complex than the men. So the feminine issue came, and all the masail related to women's came from this. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell Amma Aisha radiyallahu anha that what you need to do, Aisha, this is something related to from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You make a ghusl and continue. And that's how the masala for the woman started, that if a woman gonna have a feminine issue and she is proceeding to Hajj, she doesn't need to do anything. She other than going to go inside Haram and perform tawaf, she can do the entire Hajj. So when we're going to discuss about the masail of women and the masail of Hajj, this masala came in a lot. So the all masail related to the woman comes through the information that Sahaba radiyallahu anhu, Sahabiya radiyallahu anha ajma'in given to us. Anyhow, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Sarf, he moved to the 8th place called Ziltawa, and this place is between Mecca and Tan'een. And finally, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he reached to this place, and where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent night over there. In the morning he prayed salah, and then he made a ghusl, and finally he reached to Wadi Arzaq. And in Wadi Arzaq, when he reached, and he said that I can see the scene of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, that how Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had performed his Hajj. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from Ghaib has shown him that how Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had performed the Hajj. Then finally, on 4th Zil-Hajj, on Sunday, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam reached to Mecca. And keep in mind that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached on 4th of Zil-Hajj on Mecca, and just look back on the first, that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started, that he started either on 24th, 25th, or 26th. So imagine if we take 26th Zilqa'dah, and the month of Zilqa'dah was 29th. So we have 3 days. We have 3 days. Bear me a second if you don't mind. Let me just tell, if you don't mind. Yeah. So imagine that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 3 days, if we take 26th of Zilqa'dah, so 3 days of Zilqa'dah, 10 days of Zilhajj, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wore his ihram. He was in the state of ihram. And we got upset. We start having problems only for a couple of days. I receive a call from the people sometime. He said, we are going 2 days before. What we should do, how we gonna do it? Let us go to Jeddah directly in our normal clothes, and we will try to wear the ihram from there. Brothers and sisters, imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 14 days, 14 or 15 days, he was in a state of ihram, and his Hajj was a bit. He was Qaran. So imagine that he didn't, after performing the entire Umrah, he didn't even remove ihram. He continued with the same state till he finished his Hajj. So only a couple of days we have it, and we start complaining about our Hajj. And imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam traveled from all of these places, and he reached to Mecca. He started on 26th and he reached on 4th of Zil-Hijjah. Almost 7 to 8 days it took him to reach to Mecca with ihram. And imagine the state of summer. We know that when the sun reached to almost 50 Celsius in Mecca, Mukarramah. Anyhow, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered in haram. He didn't pray Salatul. He didn't pray the 2 rakah for the Tahiyatul Masjid. He directly entered in haram. I mean, in haram, and there is ikhtilaf among the ulama whether he raise his hand for make dua, or he make dua itself without raising hand. And then he started he made a bosa he kissed the Hajr Aswad and then the black stone, and then start having tawaf. In the first rounds, he tried to use the way that wrestlers used to move. And this is the sunnah. If you don't have that many people as a rajal, as a man, we should also try to walk the way that the wrestlers walk. And then he finished his tawaf, 7 rounds. After that, he went behind Maqam Ibrahim, where he finished his 2 rakah. Again, as he recited, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun, Qul huwallahu ahad. This is what if I remember correctly. And then after that, he make dua and drink Zamzam. There is an ikhtilaf among the ulama that Rasulullah, whether he performed tawaf by feet or upon the camel. Some of the ulama, they said that initial tawaf, when he started initial round, there were less people, so he was walking. Once there are so many people, he moved to upon his camel Kaswa, because the reason why the Hanafi scholar, they said one of the reason was that this Rasulullah want, because so many people were there, if he gonna be on the camel, he is visible for the people. So it's easier for the people to follow. And if somebody need to ask the question, he can ask. Also, one more thing, during the entire journey of Hajj, Rasulullah given lectures. And in these lectures, he explained the Sahaba that this probably his last journey of Hajj. And in multiple times, he mentioned that probably this is going to be you will see me, this is the first or probably this is the last time you will see, you probably see me. I may not going to come again. So multiple times he mentioned this. So imagine that this is going to be the last Hajj of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he tell in his khutbah that this is going to be most probably my last Hajj, or Allahu alam, that probably I may not going to meet you again. So what his intention would be that more and more people can see him, more and more people can ask him question about Hajj. So the ulama from Hanafi school of thought, based on their narration and other companions of Prophet ﷺ, upon the teaching, they said Rasulullah ﷺ sat on the camel because of that reason. And if somebody is a Sikh, eventually there is a permission that he can do tawaf on the wheelchair or any nowadays the chairs that we have with the electric bikes that available. But they are against in an opinion where anybody who's healthy, he should perform the tawaf upon those devices, or at least the bikes that are available. Also, this is a journey of Hajj. I would suggest to the people, try to do what there is less opinions, difference of opinion, and try to be not to confuse with difference of opinions. You stick, there is some learned people, they know the things, so follow them and try to avoid confusion, because in the journey of Hajj you will see a lot of confusion among the people because of difference of opinion. And I saw people fight because of difference of opinion. So we don't need to fight. We are going for prayer. We are going to join Ummah. We're going to pray for the Ummah. So avoid the confusions. Anyhow, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he moved to the mountain of Safa and he made dua over there, and then he performed his sa'i. Again, in sa'i also there is an opinion that in sa'i he used his camel, and the opinion is that Rasul, again, as I said, when there are less people, he was walking. When there were more people, he went to the camel. During the journey of Hajj, when he was coming from Mecca to Medina Munawwara, when he was close to Mecca Mukarramah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced that those people who didn't bring their animal, they should leave their ihram after performing Umrah. So anybody who doesn't bring the camel from Medina Munawwara or from where he started, he should not perform Qaran. He should leave he should perform his Hajj, he should perform his Umrah, and then and clean himself. So while he was performing Sa'i and he finished his Umrah, he didn't remove his ihram because he was a Qarin, but he announced the Sahabi Rasul that those who didn't bring the animal, please, he announced that they should remove the ihram. So Sahaba radiyallahu anhu who didn't bring ihram, who didn't bring their animals from there, and they thought that they're going to take the animal from Mecca or from other place, they removed their ihram. And they removed their ihram, they shaved their head, some of them they cut their hair. When Rasulullah saw that some of the people only cut their hairs, then he made dua for the people who shaved their heads. The other companions came to Rasulullah, he said, Ya Rasulullah, you given the dua to the people who shaved their head. So Rasulullah again given the dua for the people who shaved their head. Then they said, Rasulullah, give the dua for the others also. Rasulullah given again the dua for the people who shaved their heads. Then Rasulullah tell again. Then what happened? All Ashab Rasulullah, they shaved their head. So once we are going, brothers and sisters, especially brothers, don't just cut small, here, there. Just shave your head. This is the one-time journey, so don't leave any blessing that Rasulullah make dua for those who shave their heads. Why not we leave this opportunity? And once you have an Hajj, if you are tamattu, then shave your head. Once you finish the Hajj, shave again. What's an issue? And for the woman, take the hair from the bottom and cut at least 1.5 inches. So what happened was that Rasulullah announced it. So some of the Sahabas, along with some of the Ummah, also Fatima radiyallahu anha, also he removed the ihram and she took her normal clothes. Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu came from Yemen because Rasulullah sent him in Yemen. And he came to Rasulullah and he said, Ya Rasulullah, my intention was, when I moved from that miqat, my intention was that whatever the intention was for my Prophet, I had the same intention. Rasulullah said, continue with the ihram. When he went to the place where Sayyidina Fatima was, radiyallahu anha was there, he saw Fatima radiyallahu anhu has normal clothes and she is having a smell for her body. He got upset. Then Fatima radiyallahu anha explained her, "Oh Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, explain him, O Ali, I had told them because they didn't bring the animal from Makkah, from Medina Munawwara itself. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after performing, the Umrah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left Mecca, and he stayed in Wadi Batha for 4 days. During his stay, he came to know Sayyidina Sa'ad radiallahu anhu got sick. Sayyidina Sa'ad radiallahu anhu was a known companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Sayyidina Sa'ad radiallahu anhu and asked him, how is he, and eventually make dua for him. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent 4 days, and then during his 4 days in Wadi Batha, he used to come, perform tawaf, stay in haram and give khutbah also. As per, Imam Nawawi rahmahullah alayh, in Shara Muslim, the commentary of Muslim, he mentioned that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam given 4 khutbah in the entire Hajj. One is on 7th, the other is at Masjid al-Nimra, the third is on the day Yawm al-Nahar, the day of slaughtering, the fourth is on Ayyam al-Tashri, the second day of Mina. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam finally on 8th, he started his journey traveling to Mina, and at Chast time, at around, Chast is like something 10 o'clock, he left his journey and he left from Wadi Batha to Mina. He stayed in a cave where the verse, the Surah Mursalat revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam next day he prayed 5 Salah in Mina, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and the next day Fajr, 9th Fajr. And after Fajr, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started his journey towards Arafat. At the time of Jahiliyyah, the days of ignorance, the kuffar, the big leaders of kuffar, they not used to go to Arafat. They used to stay in Muzdalifah. When Rasulullah sallallahu moving towards Arafah, they thought that Rasulullah sallallahu going to stay in Muzdalifah. But Rasulullah went in Arafah and he has announced that everybody should have to come to Arafah. So Rasulullah sallallahu reached to Arafah, and then Rasulullah sallallahu the Sahaba radiallahu anhu put his camp near Masjid al-Khayf, and he stayed some time in the camp itself. And after Zawal, he given an amazing khutbah. I'm not going to go in detail in the khutbah. Just go and read about before you leave to Makkah. You will see, but you will at least read what khutbah and Rasulullah sallallahu has given. One of the point that Rasulullah sallallahu has given in this khutbah, he said, whatever the idol worship and the old tradition that Arabs used to have, it is under my feet. And he said that the riba is no more. And he said and he also said to the people, please be careful for the women. I advise you to have a better, shown your love and affections for women. Also, he explain women that women should not allow anybody to come upon her bed other than her husband. Generally, on 9th of Zilhajjah, Rasulullah used to fast. Now, companions of Prophet ﷺ was curious whether Rasulullah is fasting or not. So what Fazl radiallahu anha did, she sent the milk towards Rasulullah because Rasulullah never ever say no to milk. So if somebody presented the milk, he never say no, unless he is on a state, he's fasting. So imagine that the ilm and the yatafaqahu fi ad-din, that the knowledge she has, that she sent the milk to Rasulullah that if Rasulullah is fasting, he's not gonna take it. If he's not fasting, for sure he's gonna take it. And what happened? The Rasulullah taken the milk. So the masala came the open to everybody that on the Yawm al-Arafah Rasulullah didn't fast. Then after the khutbah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed Zuhr and Asr. This is something here I need to tell you, brothers and sisters, don't fight over there on Yawmul Arafah, because I have seen people fighting that whether we should pray 2 or 4, 2 or 4, 2 or 4. This is not going to solve. Okay, there is a difference of opinion. Those who that day is not the day to discuss the difference of opinion. These days are the days of ibadah, and ask Allah more and more for forgiveness, and ask for everybody whom you like and whom you love, or whom you even don't love or like. So this is the day, that's the day for dua and forgiveness. So don't go in those deep debates. Focus on the ulama that you trust and follow them. This is not the place once you finished, or at least if you had time, you have to study now rather than ask question now, rather than discussing and having a debate over there. I have seen literally with my eyes people who are having a debate before the the khutbah start. They had after the khutbah finished, they had a fight discussion, and after that they slept. And they didn't even, I mean, like, how can you imagine such a blessed time you are sleeping over there? I mean, what kind of, Hajj is this? Where is this the time for discussion for 2 or 4? This is not the time. This is for making dua. And I have seen that, subhanallah, that those people who had this, they had put their all efforts, and they're having the useless discussion which cannot be solved. And they spend their time, and then finally they slept. And the people are making, those who understand, they follow, they are making duas. So please, this is brotherly advice. Don't go on those discussions, nor go to those people. Your Arafah time is one of the most precious time in your life. This is not gonna come back again. From Zohar till the sunset, this is the time where you close all your cell phone, mobile, social media, vlog. Don't discuss anything. This is between you and Allah. Leave everything, because this time not gonna come. Trust me. Don't wait for anybody that Fala Maulana will come and he will ask and we will make dua. No, you have to write your own duas, make ready for yourself. This is 4-5 hours for you, for your parents, for your family, for your friends, for your enemies, for ummah, for everybody. Don't ask, keep asking again and again. Don't wait for it. This is the blessed day of your life. Trust me, this is the most, I mean, there is no if inshallah in akhirah, when you will see the blessing, what you will achieve, I mean, there's nothing other than that. I've seen people are making selfies, movies, vlogs. What is this? Is this Hajj? I mean, imagine that you're gonna perform Hajj and people are making vlogs for their Hajj camps. Is this you are coming for? You're coming for ibadah, ya Sheikh. You're not gonna go for having a vlog. What ajr you will get it? This is between you and Allah. Imagine, I'm going to explain how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the next couple of minutes. I will explain you that what Rasulullah did after next day of Hajj. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he performed, and then after that he reached to Jabal Rahma, raised his hand, and he keep asking for us. He keep asking for us on that day. And on that day, he was also sometime upon his camel, Qaswa, and the verses of Quran revealed. And because of that, the weight that the Rasul, when the Wahi came, Rasulullah used to have it, the Qaswa sat down. He couldn't hold the weight of the Wahi. Then Prophet ﷺ, there the people came from Najd, and they said, Ya Rasulullah, we directly reached to Arafah. What we will do? Rasulullah said that whoever al-Hajj yawm al-Arafah, the one who reached to Arafah, his Hajj is there. Then Rasulullah announced after sunset that we will pray the Maghrib in Muzdalifah. Sayyidina Usama radiyallahu anhu was with him. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam moved from Medina, from Arafah after sunset, and during the way he stopped, urinate, and then he made the wudu. And imagine that Sayyidina Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu, whenever he used to pass that place, he used to stop, and he used to sit down. The companions of Umar Ibn Umar, they used to ask with him, why you stopped? He said, I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sat here, So just to follow his sunnah, I sat here. Then finally, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, one thing I missed during the Arafah, there is one Sahabi Rasul, companion of Prophet. He passed away. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the companions, buried him, and inshallah he gonna when he stand Yawm al-Qiyamah, he will stand as a Haji. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached to Muzdalifah. He made a new wudu with Zamzam, and then he finished his prayer for Maghrib and Isha, and then he took the food. Then he slept in the night, and then he asked again he raised his hand for one of his dua was not accepted in Arafah. So he keep asking Allah, oh Allah, forgive the brutal people also in my ummah. And finally that dua was also accepted in Muzdalifah. So it is important for us also that we finished our time in Arafah, we came in Muzdalifah, pray, slept in the night, and spend some time in Muzdalifah also, and ask for Allah for forgiveness and make dua whatever you want. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the night he announced in Muzdalifah that whoever has old people or families, they are allowed to move. So the families of Rasulullah, the some of the family from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the other companions, they move. Rasulullah Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu was a small kid, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent the women with Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, but most of the companions was with there over the night. So we're gonna perform the Hajj in one time, right? So we should stay and follow what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there. So try to stay there over the night, and don't try to leave from Muzdalifah only for your comfort. Amma Aisha radiallahu anha, he said that if I would have known, I could have gone also, but she stayed over the night also with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the morning, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came. He spent night in Muzdalifah. In the morning, he prayed Fajr, and before Fajr, before the time was have finished, there was one Sahabi Rasul Arwa radiallahu anha came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, from which mountain I didn't pass through, and I put my all struggle, then finally in the late night I reached from pass through Arafah, and I reached here. Then Rasul, is my Hajj accepted? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah has stretched the day of Arafah till the time where the Fajr Adhan there, that we have, what they called it, I forgot the Arabic name, the not the Shuruq, the time before. You can say that we have once we have the Salah, like almost like 3 o'clock. So you can say before 3 o'clock, couple of minutes before. So Allah has stretched the day of Arafah from Zohar till the next Fajr, before Fajr, you can say. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that don't worry, your Hajj is accepted. Allah has stretched the day. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed Fajr, and then he moved. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as I told, he ordered before Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu to collect the stones from Muzdalifah. Then he directly reached to Jamrah, and then he kept the Makkah on the right side, Mina on the left side, and this is the last place where he say Labbaik. And before he throw the stone, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, he stopped Talbiyah. So Talbiyah is till the time when you're gonna throw the first stone. As soon as you throw before you throw the stone, Talbiyah finished. You throw the stone, Talbiyah finished. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam then throw 7 stones, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam then throw 7 stones, and then he stopped Labbaik. During this journey, there was a woman came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to ask one question, and there was one young Sahabi Rasul was there. His name was Fazl radiallahu anhu. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw that this young lady is coming asking a question, and Fazl radiallahu anhu, he was also young, he turned Fazl radiallahu anhu face towards other side. And he said the best Hajj is the one Hajj in which the eyes, the gaze are, you save your gazes. So imagine that the hijab and the niqab is how much important during the journey of Hajj. Amma Aisha radiallahu anha said that we used to cover our face when there are people, and where no people, we used to remove the veil. So so imagine that how much important for us to cover ourselves during the journey, and how much it's important for us to lower our gazes. And imagine that how much is important for us not to have use our cameras to having pictures for the women whom we even don't know. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was another fellow came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during the same place, and he said, "Ya Rasulullah, can I do a Hajj badal for my mother?" And Rasulullah said that, what about the if somebody owe someone, should his son or should return it? He said, yes, for sure. He said, then you should perform the Hajj badal. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as I said, after finishes talbiyah, this is the place then when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came for slaughtering, and he slaughtered 63 camels by his own hand. Imagine that Rasulullah sallallahu for his Hajj. Imagine Rasulullah sallallahu has literally sometime he doesn't have 3 months he doesn't have food in his home, and for his journey of Hajj he slaughtered 63 camels by himself. And there are other camels. Then he said to Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu, he said, "Oh, yeah, Ali, this is your responsibility." So almost 100 camels he slaughtered for himself, for his journey. So if Allah has given you, slaughter more. What's an issue? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has, slaughtered 100 camels for his own Hajj. And then he said to Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu that, "Oh Ali, take some meat from each camel and make one dish." And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam eaten. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam then assigned one Sayyidina Ma'amar radiyallahu anhu to cut his hair and nails, and then he assigned Abu Talha radiyallahu anhu to distribute these hair among the ummah. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went for tawaf ifada. He performed tawaf ifada, and then he finished his and then he came back to Mina. He drinks Zamzam again. There is ikhtilaf with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam whether did sa'i or not. Once we will have a question and answer, we will discuss this in detail. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went to Mina again, where he spent the night. The second day he went again and he performed stoning for 3, the shaitan. During that day, the second day, he given a big khutbah. The people, the Ashab Rasul used to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ask question, and every time Rasulullah said, "Yes, your Hajj is accepted. Yes, your Hajj is accepted." Once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on 13th, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed his tawaf wida and his stay in Muhsab. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the same place tell Sayyidina Aisha radiyallahu anha, "Oh Aisha, go with your brother Abdullah ibn Abdurrahman ibn Abi Bakr radiyallahu anhu, go to Tan'een, the Masjid Aisha, and perform your Umrah, the one that you left." So Amma Aisha radiyallahu anha went and performed her Umrah with his brother. And now this Tan'een become an Umrah for the entire Ummah. In Bukhari, there is a bab, there is a complete chapter about this Tan'een, of the Umrah for Tan'een. And the same place, Muhsab, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's one of the wife, she also had a feminine issue. And she came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "Rasulullah, I had a feminine issue. What should I do?" And Rasulullah said, "You want us to stay here?" And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the question, "Did you perform tawaf ifada?" She said, "Yes." He said, "Then you don't need tawaf wida. Tawaf wida is exempted for those who had feminine issue." And finally, he left Makkah from the way of Qudai towards Medina Munawwara. On the way to Medina Munawwara, he given a khutbah about fadail of Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu. Then he reached to Medina Munawwara. And then he announced one hadith of Rasulullah. He said, whoever perform Umrah for the sake of the people that who were there left in Medina Munawwara because of the disease, he said, whoever perform Umrah in Ramadan as he's performed the Umrah with me. This is, brothers and sisters, this is a brief, about the journey of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I wish I could have more about this, but eventually the time is more. Some things that you need to be taken care of before you going for Hajj. Make sure that you make tawbah, forgive everybody. Try to, if somebody's zakah remaining, at least make an intention. If somebody has qada prayer, he didn't pray, make sure that you will have prayer. Try to write your will. This is the ulama, they said it's better to write your will because it's a journey, whether Allahu alam what's going to happen. So it's better. It's not fard wajib or something, but it's better to have your journey. Forgive your rights upon others and make an intention to follow Quran and Sunnah. Try to avoid mortgage. If somebody has taken a mortgage, ask for forgiveness. And also things to do in Hajj. Patience is very important. Dua and astaghfar is very important. Recitation of Quran and Askar, Sunnah and Nawafil, you going for prayer only. This is all about things to avoid during the Hajj. No complaints. Trying not to complain in Hajj. Hajj is a journey where Allah wants to see you, in a state, in the state. This is the state Allah wants. Avoid perfumes because during the journey of Hajj, when you are in ihram, after ihram, for sure men can take it. Limit your internet access, social media access, selfies, unnecessary discussion, debates. This is something, some advice. Any questions, I would be more than happy to answer. May Allah accept this session. I hope that I would be able to explain you in a better way the journey of Hajj. I wish the journey of Prophet Hajj. I wish I would have explained it better. Make dua for me if there is some mistakes eventually from my side. If anybody has a question, more than happy to raise hand. I will answer you. If there is question, I will more than happy to answer. You are allowed. Then if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and I would try to answer it if you have any questions. Anybody has any questions, or shall we end the session? You just need to raise their hand in Zoom so I can given him or her answer. Regarding the potential days of travel, I have no idea. Logistics, I think you need to talk to a specific, to the people who are managing the logistics. I have no idea. Yes, brother Adnan, you raise a question. Please, I asked the question. I ask you to unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, brother Umair, and your session was wonderful and lot of knowledge we gained from this session. And I have few questions, two questions major.
Yes.
First question is, you told that in Muzdalfa, we should try to stay at night at maximum.
Yes.
But what I have performed last around 6-7 years back Hajj with one of the agency. So there I found that we are bounded with the agencies more as compared to what the Sunnah is, what Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has told about.
Yeah, this is actually, unfortunately, let me just stop this session, so at least recording, so we can start.